The Valorians had always been an overlooked species in the galaxy. Their civilization thrived on intelligence and diplomacy, but their peaceful nature was often mistaken for weakness by the more aggressive and dominant races. Valoria, their home planet, was a haven of advanced technology and serene landscapes, but it lacked the military prowess that commanded respect in the volatile galaxy. For centuries, the Valorians endured ridicule and disregard from other species. Their proposals for intergalactic cooperation were ignored, and their requests for peaceful resolutions to conflicts were dismissed. The Valorians, with their slender frames and gentle demeanor, were seen as nothing more than intellectuals without any real power. Meanwhile, humanity faced a different kind of disdain. Known for their fierce aggression and formidable military capabilities, humans were both feared and avoided. Other races viewed them as savages, quick to resort to violence and lacking the sophistication of older, more established civilizations. Earth, a planet rich in diversity and resources, was often left out of diplomatic circles, its inhabitants seen as brash newcomers in the galactic community. Despite their differences, both the Valorians and humans found themselves on the fringes of galactic politics. This mutual exclusion set the stage for an unexpected alliance. The tipping point came when the Valorians' peaceful existence was threatened by a coalition of powerful races vying for control over their planet's advanced technology. The Valorians, facing potential annihilation, realized they needed an ally who could bring strength where they had none. In a desperate move, the Valorian Council decided to reach out to humanity. It was a risky proposition, one that could either save them or accelerate their destruction. The message was sent to the human leadership, and to their surprise, the response was immediate and positive. The human leaders, eager to prove their worth and gain allies, saw the potential in combining their military strength with Valorian technology. Secret meetings were held and a pact was formed. The Valorians would provide their advanced technological expertise, and in return, the humans would offer their military might. This alliance, initially met with skepticism from both sides, began to show promise as the two species started working together. Valorian scientists and human engineers collaborated on new weapons and defense systems, blending their unique skills into a formidable force. The stage was set for the first test of their alliance. News spread quickly throughout the galaxy that the Valorians and humans had joined forces. As the coalition of aggressive races prepared their assault, they anticipated an easy victory. Little did they know, the Valorians and humans were ready to defy all expectations. The alliance between the Valorians and humans began to take shape as they prepared for the impending attack. Valorian engineers and human soldiers worked side by side, sharing knowledge and strategies. Despite their initial mistrust, they quickly found that their differences made them stronger together. In the Valorian capital, Kalos, the atmosphere was tense but hopeful. Valorian leaders, traditionally calm and composed, now moved with a sense of urgency. Human military advisors paced through the elegant halls, their presence a stark contrast to the serene environment. Commander Elias Grant, a decorated human officer, stood in the central command room surrounded by holographic displays and Valorian advisors. "Commander Grant, our sensors have detected the enemy fleet approaching from the outer rim," reported Solara, a Valorian scientist with sharp features and a keen intellect. Elias nodded, his expression determined. "We need to be ready. How are the new defense systems holding up?" Solara's eyes glinted with a mix of pride and anxiety. "The fusion cannons are operational, and the energy shields have been reinforced. But this will be their first real test under combat conditions." Elias turned to his second-in-command, Lieutenant Harper. "Get our troops ready. Coordinate with the Valorian defense units. This is going to be a joint effort." As preparations continued, there were moments of cultural exchange and mutual respect. Valorian children watched in awe as human soldiers demonstrated their combat drills, while human engineers marveled at the intricate technology the Valorians had developed. The alliance, once seen as improbable, began to feel natural. The first wave of enemy ships arrived, darkening the skies above Valoria. The Valorian energy shields flared to life, absorbing the initial barrage of laser fire. On the ground, human and Valorian troops stood shoulder to shoulder, ready to defend their newfound alliance. Remember, we fight not just for our survival, but for a future where both our species can thrive. Elias's voice echoed through the comms, instilling courage in the hearts of his soldiers and their Valorian allies. The battle was fierce. The enemy had underestimated the strength of the Valorian-human alliance. Valorian tactical brilliance combined with human tenacity created a formidable defense. Fusion cannons fired with precision, and energy shields deflected attacks with resilience. In the midst of the chaos, a Valorian officer named Thalos fought alongside a human sergeant named Ramirez. They had developed a mutual respect, each recognizing the other's strengths. As they pushed back the enemy forces, their camaraderie symbolized the growing unity between their peoples. After hours of relentless combat, the enemy began to retreat. The Valorian-human alliance had won their first battle. The victory was not just a military success, but a testament to what they could achieve together. As the dust settled, the realization dawned on everyone. This alliance had the potential to change the course of the galaxy. But with this new power came new challenges. They had proven they could fight together, but now they had to navigate the complexities of their alliance and the political ramifications it brought. In the aftermath of the battle, Commander Grant and Solara stood together, overlooking the battlefield. "This is just the beginning," Solara said quietly. Elias nodded. "We have a long road ahead, but if today is any indication, we have the strength to walk it." With their first victory behind them, the Valorians and humans knew they had the power to reshape the galaxy. But they also knew that their journey was far from over. The real test would be in maintaining their unity in the face of the challenges that lay ahead. The alliance had proven its worth, but the war was far from over. The initial victory had bought them time, but it also drew the attention of other powerful factions in the galaxy. The coalition that had attacked them was regrouping, and new enemies were taking note of this unexpected alliance. In the aftermath of the battle, Valoria was a hive of activity. Repairs were underway, and both Valorian and human leaders were deep in strategic discussions. Commander Elias Grant and Solara, now trusted allies, led the efforts to fortify their defenses and prepare for the next inevitable attack. In a makeshift war room, holographic displays projected the galaxy's star systems and potential threat vectors. The room buzzed with the sounds of tactical debates and data analysis. Elias and Solara stood at the center, surrounded by a diverse group of military and scientific minds from both species. "We need to anticipate their next move," Elias stated, his gaze fixed on the holographic map. "The coalition won't make the same mistakes twice. They'll come back stronger." Solara nodded. "Agreed. We must use this time to enhance our defenses and develop new strategies. Our fusion cannons and energy shields were effective, but we can't rely on the same tactics." At that moment, a Valorian officer entered the room with urgent news. "Commander Grant, Solara, we have intercepted communications indicating that the coalition is planning a massive offensive. They are rallying additional forces from their allies." Elias clenched his jaw. "We need to strike before they do. A preemptive attack could catch them off guard." Solara considered this. "It's a risk, but it might be our best chance. We need to disrupt their plans and weaken their forces before they can consolidate." As the leaders continued to plan, the bond between the Valorians and humans grew stronger. Joint training sessions became a daily routine, fostering mutual respect and understanding. Human soldiers learned the intricacies of Valorian technology, while Valorian tacticians absorbed human combat strategies. One evening, as the sun set over the Valorian capital, Elias and Solara found a moment to reflect. They stood on a balcony overlooking the city, the lights below twinkling like stars. "We've come a long way in a short time," Solara said, her voice filled with a mix of hope and apprehension. "But the real challenges are yet to come." Elias nodded. "We have to be ready for anything. Our alliance is our greatest strength, but it's also what makes us a target." Their conversation was interrupted by a sudden alert from the command center. The intercepted communications had revealed a crucial detail. The coalition's leadership was gathering at a heavily fortified base on a remote moon. This presented an opportunity to strike a decisive blow. Without hesitation, preparations for the mission began. Elite teams from both species were assembled, each member chosen for their skills and experience. The plan was risky, but the potential reward was too great to ignore. The mission launched under the cover of darkness. Valorian stealth ships carrying human strike teams slipped past enemy sensors and approached the moon undetected. As they landed, the teams moved with precision, their training and newfound camaraderie evident in every coordinated step. Inside the enemy base, chaos erupted as the Alliance forces struck. The Valorian technology neutralized defenses, while human soldiers engaged in close combat, their ferocity unmatched. It was a brutal and swift assault, catching the coalition leaders off guard. In the aftermath of the mission, the Alliance had not only dealt a significant blow to their enemies, but had also proven their capability to work together under extreme conditions. The victory sent ripples through the galaxy, challenging the established power dynamics. As they returned to Valoria, there was a palpable sense of triumph and unity. But with each victory, the stakes grew higher. The Valorians and humans had to remain vigilant, for the path ahead was fraught with danger and uncertainty. Their alliance was strong, but they knew that the true test of their unity and resilience was yet to come. The success of the mission against the Coalition's leadership sent shockwaves through the galaxy. The Valorian-human alliance had proved to be a formidable force, and their enemies were now on the defensive. News of their victory spread quickly, and other oppressed races began to take notice. The alliance's influence grew as more species sought their help and protection. However, with power came new challenges. The political landscape of the galaxy was shifting, and the alliance found itself at the center of a complex web of intrigue and ambition. New alliances and rivalries formed as different factions vied for power and influence. The Valorians and humans had to navigate this treacherous terrain carefully, ensuring that their newfound strength did not become their undoing. In Valoria's Grand Council Hall, representatives from various species gathered for a historic meeting. The hall buzzed with conversations in multiple languages, a testament to the diversity of the galaxy. Commander Elias Grant and Solara stood at the forefront, ready to address the assembly. Elias began, "Our victory against the Coalition was just the beginning. We have shown that unity can overcome tyranny, but we must remain vigilant. Our strength lies not just in our weapons, but in our ability to work together." A representative from the Rithian race, a species known for their strategic acumen, spoke up. "We seek to join your alliance. Together, we can bring stability and peace to the galaxy." Solara nodded. "We welcome all who share our vision, but know that this path is not easy. We face enemies who will stop at nothing to maintain their power." As the meeting progressed, new alliances were forged, and a unified front began to take shape. But the internal dynamics of the alliance were also evolving. Differences in culture, strategy, and priorities occasionally led to friction. Elias and Solara worked tirelessly to mediate disputes and maintain the cohesion of their coalition. One evening, as the stars shone brightly over Valoria, Elias and Solara met in the command center to discuss their next steps. The weight of their responsibilities was evident in their expressions. "We've come so far, but the real test is maintaining this unity," Elias said, looking out at the stars. "The galaxy is watching us." Solara agreed. "We need to lead by example. Our actions will determine the future of this alliance. We must be both strong and just." Their conversation was interrupted by an urgent message from a distant outpost. A new threat had emerged. A rogue faction, jealous of the alliance's success, was inciting rebellion and chaos. This faction, known as the Scar, was notorious for their ruthless tactics and disregard for life. Elias turned to Solara. "We can't let the Scar destabilize everything we've worked for. We need to act quickly and decisively." Solara nodded. "Agreed. But we must also be careful. The Scar thrive on chaos. We need a strategy that not only defeats them, but also addresses the underlying issues they exploit." The Alliance mobilized its forces, blending Valorian technology with human military strategy. The campaign against the Scar was swift and intense. Battles raged across multiple star systems, with both sides suffering heavy losses. But the unity and determination of the Alliance ultimately prevailed. In the final battle, Elias led a daring assault on the Scar's stronghold. The fighting was fierce, but the Alliance's superior coordination and tactics won the day. The Scar's leadership was captured, and their forces scattered. As the dust settled, the galaxy began to breathe a sigh of relief. The Valorian-Human Alliance had faced its greatest test and emerged stronger. But they knew that true peace and stability would require continuous effort and vigilance. Back on Valoria, Elias and Solara addressed the Grand Council once more. "We have shown that unity can overcome even the darkest threats," Elias said. "But our work is far from over." Solara added, "We must continue to build bridges, to seek understanding and cooperation among all species. Only then can we create a lasting peace." The assembly erupted in applause, and the representatives pledged their support. The Valorian-Human Alliance had not only survived, but had also become a beacon of hope for the entire galaxy. Together, they would face whatever challenges the future held, united in their quest for a better tomorrow. Subscribe to watch more amazing sci-fi